The next section in our behavior intervention plan is replacement behavior instruction plan, also known as teaching. This section is referring to our replacement behavior and what skill are we actually going to teach that student to do that's more appropriate than the behavior that they're doing, but still serves the same function. So this correlates with the TATE on number 13, where it says a minimum of one socially valid replacement behavior that will be taught to the student is identified and linked to the FBA hypothesis and described in enough detail for implementation. So you can copy and paste your typical consequence or function that comes after the target behavior from the FBA in this section. So in our example, the student was eloping, so the function of the behavior was escape or avoid work. And then he would walk in the hallways and get to just be escaping that assignment during math class. So we want to think of strategies that would still give him that same function of being able to escape the work, but that's more socially appropriate. So what's a more appropriate way to escape work rather than leaving the classroom without permission? And that's where you guys with your team can get creative and brainstorm some ideas. In the what section, an example of this might be, Johnny will be taught to give his teacher the break card on his desk when he is frustrated or needs a break before he leaves the room. When and how this will be taught and how frequently. An example of this would be, Johnny will practice handing the break card to the teacher when he is frustrated or needs a break using role play. This will be practiced daily in the morning during breakfast and again right before math class. And who will teach it? An example of this might be the social worker, or it could be a parapro or any other staff that's on the team that has just 5 minutes to practice role playing with him. I think it's important to practice a new skill daily and sometimes even multiple times a day if possible, or right before the behavior might occur. So if the behavior is most likely to occur during math class, then let's remind him how to use that break card and practice it right before math class. We want to set that student up for success so that they don't engage in the target behavior and instead they're engaging in the replacement behavior or the more socially appropriate behavior that we want to see. So also in section 13 of the TATE, in order to get a 2, at least one replacement behavior is identified and it serves the same function as the problem behavior or is incompatible with the problem behavior, and an intervention is described with enough detail to be implemented. The details should include the exact skill that will be taught, who will teach it, and at what point it's related to the antecedent will the skill be prompted or practiced, and how will the skill be taught. So the description is detailed enough that a stranger would be able to implement the strategy with the student, or multiple people would be able to implement the strategy in the same way. So for example, Fred will be taught to raise his hand to get teacher-adult attention prior to class discussions. An adult will review when and how Fred will raise his hand to get attention. A prearranged signal, a picture of a raised hand, will be used for times that Fred forgets to raise his hand.